Then second comes, they call the bids based on the, you can say, technical score and financial score. So higher the technical score is the winner. 80% weightage is given to the technical submission, 20% weightage is given to the financial submission. So Dhruv initially was scoring 88 marks, 89, 90 marks. I am glad to say that we are scoring 95 plus marks in this technical score. They ask us the traffic data. Then we calculate the today's revenue and expected revenue for next 15, 20, 25 years, as the case may be. Touchwood, when we bidded for it, it was 35-40% EBIT. Now we are expecting 75% profit.
In Bihar, there were 13 bridges that collapsed in last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
If consultancy companies are doing this supervision and support services, which is done during and after the construction of highways, bridges, whatever, infra project, who is responsible for all these collapses, the loss of life? Is it the government? Is it the consultancy companies? Is it the contractors, or all three? Hi everyone, today we are with Dhruv Consultancy Services. It is a company that does consultancy exclusively for infra projects. Today in this episode, we have Mr. Pandurang from the company. He is the chairman and managing director. What we're going to be talking about in this video is something that no article on the website, on any website has, no video is there on YouTube, on how the entire value chain of infra works, from the government allocating a particular amount in the union budget to the construction and monitoring of that road or highway that was built. We'll also talk about more about the industry, where the highways are heading. The construction has slowed down recently. There are different types of project that the government can give. It may be EPC, HAM or BOT. We'll define what each of these terms means, and we will explain what these terms means. And then we'll go on to talk about more about the company, how the financials of the company, the new international projects that they're bidding for, especially in the African region, and what does it require for the company to further scale up. So we'll be unpacking all of this in today's video. So thank you so much for having me here. Yeah. So firstly, I want to start with the infra chain, right? You do infra consultancy services. That means if I'm the government, I want to put a road from point A to B. Point A to B, my motivation is that a lot of people are traveling. A lot of complaints were said that, it's very difficult to move between these 2 points. They come to you and they be like, Mr. Pandurang, tell me what is the best route, okay, through the hills, through the forest, or just main road, how many lanes should be there, how much would be the potential traffic, okay, and then you tell the government, okay, has to be done, this will be the bidding document, etc., etc. So can you explain this entire process in detail?
Yes. As we all are aware, let us take example of Government of India, because infra is a very big word. Infra, it is in state governments also, it is in central government also. Since we are in highway sector, so highway sector is of course dominated by National Highway Authority of India and Ministry of Road Transport of Highways India, and in state governments also they are funding it through CRF and other funds. So whenever there is a concept coming, the concept comes from the public demands, of course, but it is not only the public demand. The government prepares normally the 20 years plan.
Okay.
For next 20 years, they have their roadmap. For China, there are 2 lakh kilometers of expressway. 10 years back, we had only, I can say, only one expressway, that was Mumbai-Pune expressway.
Okay.
Later on, this Yamuna expressway happened. But we are far behind the developed countries. So the government decided, let us have, say, 2,000 kilometers of expressways. Then industrial corridors. So all that is decided at apex level, that is Prime Minister's level or planning authorities level, and that is passed on to the departments.
Okay.
So once they decide that, for example, I will give you Delhi Mumbai. Now Delhi Mumbai travel time with existing routes is about 24 hours for the cars and 36 hours for the trucks. So they decided, yes, now let us cut these two capital cities. One is a financial capital, one is a political capital, with a expressway,
Okay.
access control expressway, and travel time should be reduced. So they plan to reduce the travel time for cars by 12 hours. So they decided that is a concept. Then they call the tenders for appointment of consultants for preparation of DPR, that is detailed project report. Then consultant gave them the detailed project report in a period of 1 year, 2 year or so. And they gave the alternative alignments. One alignment is finalized. Then land acquisition process starts, forest clearance process starts, environment clearance, then utility shiftings if at all there, rehabilitation of the villages
Okay.
or forest. And once that is completed, DPR, then tenders are called. So based on the DPR prepared by the consultant, government finalizes the cost estimate and mode of the execution, maybe BOT or maybe HAM or maybe EPC. And again, that is, for example, again Delhi Mumbai Expressway, it was divided into 10 or 12 packages. We got 3 to 4 packages for supervision of the work. The next step comes supervision.
Okay, got it. So, if, like I said, the government has decided we're going to be putting a highway, a more efficient route from Mumbai to Delhi, the two capitals, then they will ask you, okay, tell me a ideal route, number of lanes, the any forest clearance that has to happen, how many people would be rehabilitated, and you put the report to them.
That is a DPR.
DPR, okay, detailed project report you submitted to the government.
Correct.
Then based on that report, government will call a tender.
Correct.
Okay, they will put a tender online saying that these are the requirements:
Yes.
1,000 crores, 3,000 crores, 5,000 crores.
Cost
This
estimate.
is the cost. Okay, and the construction companies, whether it's J Kumar Infra, Larsen and Toubro, the
Many people,
many contractors that we have,
they come
will,
and bid.
They will bid. Okay, got it. Now, when you as a consultant company, not a contractor, consultant company, when you bid for to make the DPR, detailed project report, that's called the feasibility study, right? In other words,
correct.
Why do governments give you that? On what basis?
Basically, it is a public money which is involved in infrastructure development. So, in democratic processes, the every bid or every expenditure to be done from government treasury, there has to be a transparent bidding process.
Okay.
So first they empanel the consultants who are qualified consultants. Like for the voting, you must have minimum age of say 18 or 21 years. For marriage again. So it is a minimum requirement for consultancy firms also. That you should be eligible for A, B, C, D, E. Then second comes, they call the bids based on the, you can say, technical score and financial score. So higher the technical score is the winner. 80% weightage is given to the technical submission, 20% weightage is given to the financial submission.
Okay.
So whomsoever consultant, now Dhruv is there. So Dhruv initially was scoring 88 marks, 89, 90 marks when we shifted from state government to central government in period of 15-16, from period of 15-16. And there where we were scoring 88, 90 and we were getting lesser works. Okay. But brick by brick our eligibility increased once we completed DPRs, once we completed supervision of works, once we have the softwares in hand, once we have the equipment banks. Then now I am glad to say that we are scoring 95 plus marks in this technical score. Okay. And we are now termed as a top 5 consultants in India in terms of technical strength. So whomsoever gets the highest technical marks with proper financial number wins the bid. Consultant concept itself was not very much favorable in India 30 years back. But when World Bank started funding the projects in India, they bring this consultancy concept. Okay. And first it was MSRDC where I was working. We completed flyovers in Mumbai and Mumbai-Pune Expressway through consultants. Before that, when I was in government, the things were completed through government officers only. Like I was executive engineer, under me there were deputy engineers, junior engineers. They were preparing DPR or what we call estimate. They were supervising the works. They were certifying the quality, and all that was done in-house. But government decided to reduce the expenditure on the bureaucracy, or what we can say establishment,
Makes sense.
because majority of the funds of the budget go for that purpose, and consultancy fee is only 2 to 3%
Okay.
of the project cost. So government decided 25 years back only to have a consultancy, which is now a matured concept.
Okay. You're saying that the government gives you the project.
Yeah.
There should be a minimum eligibility criteria.
Correct.
That, for example, that you have to have a minimum annual turnover of 5 crores.
Equipments.
You should have these equipments. You should manpower. And then once you've met those criteria, if you are submitting the bids, they will look at technical score, which is given 80% weightage.
Yeah.
Technical score is your prior experience. The higher the annual revenue you have, higher the credibility the government has, higher the technical expertise.
Correct.
Equipments again.
Yeah.
So if you score 100 on that, 80% weightage is given to that.
Correct.
So you score 80 points in the technical bit. And now financial, the lower you bid, the higher the points.
Correct.
So let's say
absolutely correct.
Yeah. So, and let's say you get 100 points there, you get 20% weightage. So 20% of 100, 20 points. So 80 plus 20, you get 100 points. If someone else is getting 102 points, they get the project. Correct?
Just I will clarify for the layman's purpose. 80%, when I am saying 80% weightage is given. So suppose we are 3 bidders. You are A, I am B, and this one is C. And you are scoring say 95. I am scoring 90, and third guy is scoring 85 marks. So your score will be 95 multiplied by 0.8. That is technical score.
Yeah.
My score will be 90 multiplied by 0.8, 80%. And he fellow will be 85 multiplied by 0.8.
Correct.
Now suppose your bid is 10 crore, my bid is 9 crore, his bid is 8 crore.
Yeah.
In ideally, he should be the winner because he is saving the government's 2 crore. But since government is giving more weightage to the intelligence of the company and quality of the company, 20% weightage is given. So he will score 20, I will score 18, you will score 16 out of 20 in financial score. But 16 plus your 95 multiplied by 0.8, in all that mathematics, you will be the winner.
Okay, getting you. So it's a factor of both.
Yeah,
like I said, 80% and 20%.
But 80% is a very big weightage to the technical score.
Absolutely. And see, this I just want to digress slightly from here to give a background about you. From what I understand, I am sitting with someone who has worked extensively in the infra field. It's not that you started a construction company or consultancy services 10 years ago and you've been in the industry since 10 years. That's not the case. You are a hardcore infra guy.
Yeah.
Okay, if I put it in very layman and candid terms, where I saw your LinkedIn profile, you worked as a junior engineer in the Public Work Department of Maharashtra for several years. Then you were executive engineer. Then you started this company, Dhruv Consultancy, back in 2003.
Correct.
Okay. And then, so PWD is someone who gives the contract, consultancy contract
at state level.
At state level. And your Dhruv Consultancy is someone who treats them as clients.
Yeah.
Then later on in 2016, a company was struggling, MEP Infrastructure. You went to become their CEO. You're not a founder or anything, but they recruited you as a CEO. Yeah. And so you have been the contractor side also.
Yeah.
So you've been through the entire value chain of the infra segment of India. Right?
Correct.
So anything else you want to add?
I want to add one thing. My daughter is managing director of this company right now since last 8-9 years. And I am here since she's having a newborn baby. And just I am acting non-executive director and chairman.
Okay.
But as you rightly said, I am mentor for this company, and not only mentor for this company, I am mentor for many consultants, many players, stakeholders in this infra sector, including few governments.
Okay, great. So you had mentioned in the previous question that I don't want to interject you and make you explain, but you said the type of contract. you will suggest to the government that these type of contract is good, HAM, BOT or EPC?
We I want to interrupt. We don't suggest. We give them the financial modeling.
Okay.
So this is the financial model. For example, they ask us the traffic data.
Yeah.
Now when traffic is numbers are there, the toll policy is fixed, toll rates are fixed by the government.
Okay.
All over India, same rates. So then we calculate the today's revenue and expected revenue for next 15, 20, 25 years, as the case may be.
Okay.
And in that, if government feels that, okay, this project is viable on BOT stand alone, so then they might go for BOT.
Okay.
But suppose traffic is falling short,
Yeah.
or there are parallel routes which will bypass the toll road, then they go for HAM. Or if some road is there where is no sufficient traffic or there is no sufficient revenue expected immediately, then they go for EPC. So all that decisions are taken by government, but we give them all the basic data, including
Got
the
it.
financial model to them.
Okay. Explain HAM, HAM, EPC and BOT.
Yes. As I said, if there is a high density corridor, for example, again, say Mumbai to Pune or Delhi to Jaipur. So these are high density corridors. When I am saying high density corridors, commercial traffic must be very high.
Okay.
Because car traffic contributes very low in terms of percentage for the toll. But if commercial traffic is on higher side, like Mumbai, there is a JNPT port, and all that material, import and export, comes from South India, North India to JNPT. So heavy commercial traffic supply on the Mumbai-Pune Expressway or Mumbai-Agra, that is Mumbai-Nasik. So these roads, when I was a client as an executive engineer, when we analyze these roads, we feel as a client that this road can be built on the BOT, built operate transfers. Now what is BOT? BOT is 100% financing is done by the private entrepreneur only, which we call concessionary.
Okay.
Government has no role to play except the land acquisition and clearances.
Okay.
So 100% money is put in by the operator, that is entrepreneur, contractor, concessionary in the project, and he recovers that by way of toll or wayside amenity development, if they are allowed, or advertisements, in a period of say 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, that is a bidding parameter. So this is pure BOT. Now suppose somewhere the traffic is not enough.
Okay.
And some support is required in terms of grants at the time of construction. Then government go for hybrid model, that is hybrid annuity model, HAM.
Okay.
So wherein they put 40% as a grant to the project, and 60% money has to be brought in by the private player.
Okay.
Now when I am saying private player, normally they go to the bankers or NBFCs and financial institutes for lending purposes. They form the SPV, they get the approvals and they get the money. But again, in debt side also, in fundraising side also, banks asking maybe 20%, maybe 25%, maybe 15% equity. So they have to put the equity. Rest of the money is coming from the banks, that is debt. That portion is 60%. And 40% is a government grant.
Got it.
So this is a hybrid annuity model. Previously, there was a HAM toll, HAM toll. But nowadays, since last 7, 8, 10 years, it is a HAM annuity. When there is uncertainty about the traffic in future, because some roads are new roads, some roads have the bypass roads construction. So developments region wise are different. Traffic fluctuates because of the international, you can say, uncertainties. So government then took the risk of the toll on their heads, and the payment is given to the contractor in terms of annuity payment for a period of 15 years. So today the model going on in NHI and North and many of the state governments is HAM annuity payment.
Okay. Okay. I read somewhere it's 60% HAM, the new project that's giving, and 40% is EPC.
No. 60% is a money to be put up by private entrepreneur or concessionary, and 40% is grant given by the government.
Okay.
And EPC is totally different ballgame. EPC, when government is very much sure that there cannot be any toll or tolls cannot be levied in the rural parts, or there or resistances, or you can say local traffic is very high. So then they go for EPC model.
Okay.
In EPC model, 100% payment is given by government to the contractor.
These are milestone payments.
All payments are milestone payments.
Okay. Even in HAM, you said 40% is given as grant by the government to the project.
As per the milestone achievement, payment is released.
Okay.
By the bank also, by the government also.
Got it. Got it. Now, can I summarize what you just said? There is BOT where the contractor is responsible for constructing the entire highway, and the revenue for the 15 years after construction they take. Okay, through tolls.
Correct.
They can keep the booths wherever.
Correct.
And that's where there's a high density commercial transportation happening place. Second is HAM, hybrid annuity model, where government puts 40% to the contractor as per the milestones achieved. So if the final kilometer is done of the entire highway, the 40% full is already vested with them. But the other 60% will be bought by some by the contractors, some by the
banks.
They, for the 60%, will form an SPV, special purpose vehicle, for this project. Okay, and whatever tolls they're able to keep, etc., they'll recover. On the EPC side, government is 100% funding the project, and the payment is released in milestones. As 20% is done, you get 20 crores. Another 20% is done. So if it's a 100 crore project, I'm saying. This is the
correct. You are absolutely correct.
Great, sir. The earlier comment I said was the new projects that are now coming up. I heard government is slightly leaning to the HAA model because the upfront payment, like you said, would be slightly lower compared to EPC. So new projects, now they're giving like 60% for HAM and 40% new projects for EPC. Is that correct?
No, it is not like that. Case to case, state government to government, department to department, policy differs.
Okay.
Based on the budget provisions, it is a decision taken by the finance department and the concerned department like Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. What model should be there? What should be the EPC percentage? It is at the highest level, at budget level, it is planned. It is nothing like a fixed policy of the government that this percentage is EPC or this percentage is HAM or this percentage is BOT. Again, I am saying based on the project strength, project financial strength, they take the call, not on the fixed decision.
Okay. See, when we were sitting and discussing, you had said once the union budget allocates a certain budget, let's say 2.7 lakh crore rupees to highways. The MORTH, Ministry of Roads and Transport Highway Authority of India, they get this 2.8 lakh crores. Then how does it happen? Something's divided to NHAI, then PWD. Can you explain that?
Yeah. Now budgets are prepared year on year, every year. They are submitted to the as a part of union budget. This comes. There are demands every quarter. That demands go from ministry to finance ministry. Their demands are scrutinized. Demands are three types. One demand is for payment of the existing ongoing works, which is priority. Second is for payment of consultants, that is DPR preparation. Third is payment of land acquisitions. Fourth is payment of utility shifting. Then fifth is remaining is cost of establishment and other overheads. So the budget is divided like that only. Now this is a continuous process. For next 5 years, they have the 5-year plan. Previously it was called, I think Planning Commission was doing that. Today also they are doing, name is different. They have the 5 years plan. Now say, for example, this is a NDA government now, formed in June. So they have prepared a roadmap for highway sector for 5 years. So year on year, the money is allocated.
Okay.
Now when I am saying allocated, one source is budget. Second source is revenue from the toll, which goes finally to government. Third is petrol, diesel, cess on the petrol and diesel. Some part goes directly to NHI, some part in state government, some part go to MSRTC, like that. Fourth part is taking the loans, soft loans from the World Bank or JICA or ADB. That is also one source. Fifth source is raising the funds from the market through bond, like NHI is having infrastructure bonds.
Yeah.
So there are not only budget, there are n number of revenue sources depending on the demand of the infra site.
Got it.
It is for all the infra sectors, not only highway sector.
Okay. So this fund is from these 6-7 sources. The funds are allocated.
up.
Then for national highways between two states, in entire like an NH40, NH36, etc., etc. They have NHAI to do this.
Normally, NHAI do the difficult type of works.
Okay.
So previously, distribution was broadly was like that: 4-lane and below 4-lane roads, 2-lane highways, 3-lane highways, normal national highways. They are being done by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, and implementation is through state government PWDs. National Highway Authority of India specifically look after the expressways, iconic projects, industrial corridors, then economic corridors, port connectivity, which are very important for a nation as a whole. And few of the assignments they give to state governments also. They have the CRF fund, Central Road Fund, which normally when you buy the car, some percentage of the tax go to the central government, some percentage of the tax go to the state government. That normally they are supposed to expend it on the highway development, highway maintenance. So that is CRF.
Okay, this is road tax that we pay in each
road
state.
Tax.
Okay, so that's what my problem was, that NHI is not the only person building roads.
Many companies, many players are there.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Gujarat GSRDC, Maharashtra MSRDC, then Gujarat, Rajasthan Ridcor. Many companies are there. In NHI also there are subsidiary companies. There is a separate company for Northeast, NHIDCL, separate company for toll monitoring, that is IHMCL. State PWDs are also involved. So there are 25-30 states in India. So huge play is there, not only for highway, for all the infra sectors, and its distribution is like that only. Even port, few of the ports are under state government, under Maharashtra Maritime Board there are few ports. Many of the ports are there under central government, that is Port Ministry, Shipping and Port Ministry.
Okay, okay. So you said about the DPR, the feasibility study. Okay. Now there are two other types of consultancy service also that you do. Let's say the government has released the tender, the construction companies have bidded for it, someone is allocated the bid, then you said the government will put another tender, consultancy services for the monitoring.
Correct.
Can you explain on that?
Yeah, it is called supervision consultancy, or in layman's language it is a PMC, project management consultancy, but specifically it is authority engineer. So there are two again types of supervisions. One is for EPC, it is called authorities engineer, and if it is a HAM or BOT, it is called independent engineer.
Okay.
When it is authority engineer, we are supposed to monitor, we are supposed to certify, not monitor, we are supposed to certify the quality of the work on monthly basis done, progress of the work, billing certification, and progress. So in EPC, our role is of the engineer. In HAMS and BOT, same things are there, but it is termed as a monitoring. So we are monitoring the project in terms of quality, we are monitoring project in terms of quality, quantity, and progress also. So whatever work is done by the contractor has to be certified by us. If it is a bad, we have to reject. If it is a very bad, we have to destroy it, dismantle it. If it is rectifiable, we have to ask contractor to rectify. In short, we are eyes and ears of the government.
Okay. And what about the third part of consultancy services that you do, which is support services?
Post construction. Once the project is put to use, what we call COD, commercial operation date, and dedicated to nation, then maintenance starts. Maintenance is of two types. One is maintenance of the defects, that is called defects liability period. Second is routine maintenance, like road marking paints, watering to the plants, removing the shrubs on the shoulders, monitoring the tolls in terms of queuing, and so on. So that is also third type of consultancy. We get it, though it is a percentage is small, but that is also awarded by government or allocated by government to the consultants. We are termed there as a O&M consultant.
Okay.
operation and maintenance consultants. We are only monitoring the service level.
Okay. For this support services, you need very expensive equipment. I was going through your con call.
Yeah.
One equipment, it's like a truck where you got a weight deflectometer is
Yeah.
the equipment.
Yeah.
That's worth 2.5 crores. And that is not available in India. You have to import it from Germany or some other European country. One equipment is that. Then you got like other equipments, which, let's say a bridge is there. Someone cannot climb down and check what's happening. So you got a truck which has an attached ladder in L shape so that someone can climb and go and check the bridge. That
Correct.
itself is an equipment.
Correct.
Like that, you got like 5 or 7 equipments.
Correct. Correct.
Based on that, if you're eligible with those equipments, then you get that support services contract.
Correct. It is, you can say, when the project is at completion stage, it is duty of consultant, that is authorities engineer, to check certain parameters through these equipments. One is following bed deflectometer, second is NSV network survey vehicle, third is MBIU mobile bridge inspection unit, then retro reflectometer, and so many things.
Okay.
And since last 10, 12 years, these equipments are software based, and the reports are generated online and submitted online. So there is very less chance of manipulation or errors is there. So these equipments, we can hire it also, but if we have the ownership, then we score more technical marks. So we have all the equipments, you can say double the size of the requirement. So we are scoring good marks in government bids.
Got it.
Also, we have tapped the business in a private sector, because suppose some work is allotted to the contractor or concessionary on BOT basis.
Okay.
Now it is their responsibility to monitor this and give the report to the client.
Okay.
So they also need such service, such equipments, but since they are costly and not regular use, they dependent on the consultants who have the ownership and knowledge about operation of this equipment. So we get the business from that side also, where there is a private BOT operator, and demands are all over India with all state governments and national highways and everywhere.
Got it. You said supervision is one.
Yeah.
Feasibility study is one contract that you make. Then there is support services. Then there is supervision. Then there is support services. In Bihar, there were 13 bridges that collapsed in last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
If consultancy companies are doing these supervision and support services, which is done during and after the construction of highways, bridges, whatever, infra project, who is responsible for all these collapses, the loss of life? Is it the government? Is it the consultancy companies? Is it the contractors, or all three?
Good question. In our system, as I explained, DPRs are prepared by the consultants. So there is a part A consultant. Then work is awarded to contractor, second player. Then work is supervised by another consultant. May not be the same consultant, because again it is a bidding process. So there is a third player. Fourth one is the proof checking and design consultant, who normally work for the contractor.
Okay.
So again consultant comes in picture. If you ask me specifically, primary responsibility is with the contractor, because he puts in the material, he puts in the labor, he puts in the know-how and execution. He has his own design team, because normally the contracts are awarded on EPC. So engineering, E means engineering. So design is done by the contractor. So primary responsibility is with the contractor.
Okay.
So in such a collapse cases, suppose some mishap happens or some fatal accident happens, so obviously project manager is held responsible. Few of the companies got blacklisted for that, construction companies. Now in government systems, they put an inquiry commission, and in inquiry commission they find out the fault. In few cases there is a design fault, then responsibility is fixed to the consultant. Like in our case in Mumbai, CST, in front of CST, Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus, previously it was called VT station. There was one skywalk, foot-over bridge.
Okay.
And that skywalk was collapsed.
Okay.
So when committee IIT experts checked in, there was a design fault. So the consultant was blacklisted, not only blacklisted, he was debarred, blacklisted, and was put behind the bar. So it depends on the outcome of the inquiry commission, who is responsible. Now, suppose I am a supervision consultant and contractor has done the wrong work. That wrong work means bad quality material, putting less cement, putting less steel, or putting inferior quality material. Because of that, if things or collapse happen, then contractor is primarily responsible and consultant is secondarily responsible.
Okay.
So both are responsible.
That was my second question.
Yeah.
If monitoring,
Yes, we are part of that any mishap. We are part of good thing. We are responsible for good things also.
Yeah.
Like you are seeing many certificates here for the good work. So if suppose the bad work is done, then government takes hard action on the consulting firms. They are debarred for 1 year, 2 year. I should not mention this, but in last 1 year, NHI is very hard on the quality aspects of the project.
yeah,
And many of the consulting firms are debarred or blacklisted for poor quality in DPR or poor quality in supervision.
okay.
So these things happens in consultancy also.
Then how do you make sure this is not happening from your side?
Touchwood, last 20-21 years, we have got no such incidents in our journey. Thanks to our team. Our team, when we select our team, it is hybrid of the experienced government officers who retire from the services and also the quality engineers available from the private sector. We have head office, we have very strong design team who are very meticulous in checking the plans and profiles and detailed designs of the bridges, and they don't compromise in design part. Suppose contractor puts a unsafe design, we reject it.
Okay.
So it is a, you can say, vision and mission of the company, and we are giving first priority to the quality, because our first aim and first goal is nation first, because a lot of public money is involved in the projects. Suppose a 1,000 crore project I am supervising, my fee will be hardly 20 crore. But for that 20,
Sorry, can you repeat that?
1,000 crore is the project cost. The my fee is roughly 2%. That is 20 crore.
Okay.
So for my fee of 20 crore, I should not put nation's 1,000 crore at stake. So since I am also ex-government, I am also and my team is also having some few retired secretaries, retired chief engineers, retired ACs. They are allowed to work in a private sector also post-retirement.
Okay.
So they are working as a team leader at many places. They use their experience and good offices to see that, tactfully they see that the things are happening within the limits with proper quality or acceptable quality.
Sure. So you're saying that 21 years, no issues at all, and you have ex-government employees.
That's why quality people are coming to Dhruva, and Dhruva is treated by them as a second home after retirement.
Okay.
So we choose very good quality retired officers from government sector to work with us, and they are doing their job. So that is our success.
In your con call, I read that like JVs are a huge part of bidding for projects. Let's say you're a small player, you have 5 years of experience, and there is a project that you have to bid for, and there is eligibility criteria. If you're forming a JV, the lead JV partner needs to meet 50%, and the second partner can meet maybe 40%, 30%.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So combined, you can bid for the project.
Correct.
Right. And now you're saying that you don't need those JVs anymore because you yourself, as a company that's 23 years, are capable to bid for those projects alone. So how does this impact your financials directly?
Surely. See, we are the only consulting firm in India who are listed on BSE and NSE both. So that gives very good edge to us or our competitors when we bid for any project. When we started our journey at state level, then at national level, we were working as a sub-consultant or associate to big players or in private sector only, and we built our eligibility brick by brick. So later on, once the eligibility started increasing, we also started bidding large size projects. Initially, our ticket size was 3 crore.
Okay.
Then 5 crore, then 10 crore. Now it is touching, we are touching to 20 crore projects. Latest we bidded in Philippines for 180 crore rupees, Indian rupees projects, of course in US dollars. So we are now qualifying there at that level also. I'm not saying everywhere standalone, but 80% of the cases we are qualifying as a standalone, as a Dhruva, and we don't need any partner. But we need a partner, but very small section, I can say only associate for the local supports. Like suppose I'm bidding in northeast part of the India, we need a local support because transportation is a big challenge there from Mumbai to say Tripura or Meghalaya or any part of the extreme part of the India, even in the Kashmir or Himachal Pradesh. So therein we get the associates. But whenever we get the chance, we are bidding standalone, and we are getting the work. Since standalone, we are scoring 95 plus marks.
Okay.
But in few of cases, we go for associate. In few of the major cases, like Philippines, we have a joint venture, definitely.
Understood.
Because the project size is too big, the Dhruv cannot qualify for 180 crore.
Okay. So if it's like an Indian geography, generic routes, you can go standalone.
Yeah.
Exclusive, like outside India, Philippines, Mozambique, African regions, go for a joint venture.
Joint venture for local support, part A, and also for the qualification.
Okay. Before you said you used to bid for projects, let's say 5 crores. That means 2%, right? You mentioned.
Yeah.
So let's say 250 crore project you used to bid for. Like 250 crore is the entire value of the
Project cost.
Now you're saying you can bid up to 20 crores standalone.
For fee.
For fee, yeah. So that's like a 1,000 crore project.
1,000
So from a 250 crore project that you used to bid for, now you're bidding for
1,000
crore projects. That's like the large expressways and the iconic projects
correct,
that you had mentioned earlier.
Correct.
Now that's a good answer that you gave. Let's talk about the international geography that you're going into. India, you feel okay, you're satiated and it's going well, it's pretty stable. Standalone, you can bid. Now you're going for international operations.
Yeah. Before that, I would again like to say that our company's mission or goal is nation first. So we will continue to work with governments only in India and with the private sector also in India.
Okay.
But since we are public limited listed company, my investors ask, what is your PAT? What is your EBIT? What is your turnover? What is your order book? And when I bid in India, traditionally I bid for 15 to 20% of the EBIT. So PAT is about 10 to 12%. So investors are not very comfortable with that because already we are in service sector. Then we decided 2 years back that let us go and test the international water. For that purpose, I got very good team, newly recruited team, which was brought in by my daughter Tanvi, and they started searching first the opportunity, then searching the you can say joint venture partners, local partners, and initially we decided only to bid where the projects are funded by World Bank, African Development Bank, or Asian Development Bank, that is ADB.
Yeah.
Because the money is safe there.
Yeah.
So we are working in unknown condition, unknown political situation, unstable things, geographical challenges are there. So obviously these funding agencies fund for the underdeveloped countries. So they are mainly in Africa and few of them are in Asia also. So till date I am happy to announce that we have bidded for, there is a 3-stage bidding. So it is called expression of interest. We put our expression of interest first for 150 plus bids all over the world, mainly African and Asian underdeveloped or developing countries.
Okay.
And we got qualified for about 20. We put our financial bids for 10. We got success only in one, that is in Mozambique. 5 bids are under scrutiny and 4 bids we lost financially.
Okay.
Now in international market, the profit margins are quite a good. We getting the payment in terms of dollars. The payments are assured. Timely payments when I am saying.
Yeah.
The stringent norms are there, World Bank and African Development Bank and ADB funded projects. So that's why we switched over. We normally bid there for the EBIT not less than 35%. So this hybrid of international revenue and domestic revenue, it gives good impact to our financials.
Okay. Okay. How much would be the margin in the international side?
That
30%?
I said already 35%.
35%.
Before tax.
EBIT would be around 35%. Great.
minimum.
Okay. Mozambique, have we started?
Mozambique, we started the work. We submitted our first invoice. We are on the verge of submitting second invoice. Touch wood, when we bidded for it, it was 35-40% EBIT. Now we are expecting 75% profit because the work was very small and not a big challenge for us. And we did all the things of DPR in-house, no
Okay.
outsourcing.
Okay. And so in-house, so there's no JV over there?
No, no JV is there,
Yeah.
but they are local partners.
Okay.
Eligibility, qualification, lead partner, we are. There is associate only. So out of that 75% say profit is there, definitely I will pay them 25% whatever understanding is there on the paper.
Got
So
it.
still the 50% margin will be there to Dhruv.
Okay.
And the revenue will be in dollars.
Okay. There is a concept called bank guarantee
Yeah.
in this field. Even on the con call, you had mentioned this. So see, when we study the company, we obviously have to go to the con call if
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
doing it. Bank guarantee, can you explain the concept of bank guarantee for a company like you?
See, any contract, particularly government contract, even in few cases private people also do take bank guarantees, but government contract 100% cases bank guarantees are taken. There are two securities to be given to the client before we take over the work or even before we bid. One is called EMD, earnest money deposit. When we bid, we should not put a wrong data on the
Okay.
portal to the client or government. If we found wrong data, then they can forfeit our EMD, that is earnest money deposit. First choice for anyone is pay that amount in by check.
Mhm.
And second, a concession is given by the government, you can also pay the bank guarantee. When we say the bank guarantee is of three types. For EMD, earnest money deposit, that is now exempted for Government of India. So thanks to them. Second is performance security, and third is mobilization advance. So
Okay.
everywhere we have to put the bank guarantee. What is the bank guarantee for layman? For say 10 crore work, I have to pay the 5% bank guarantee.
Okay.
So I will put a 50 lakh rupee bank guarantee to government. When the letter of acceptance is given for 10 crore, I will immediately apply for bank guarantee. When bank guarantee, I am saying bank approves the limits. They are fund based and non-fund based. Fund based, they are for your working capital, and non-fund based, they are for the bank guarantees. So then I approach to the banks. The banks issue the bank guarantee with margin money. In my case, HDFC Bank is taking 15% margin money as a deposit, and they are giving me 100% margin, 100% bank guarantee. Again, the 50 lakh rupees
Got
bank
it.
guarantee is to be given. I have to pay
7.5 lakhs
7.5 lakh
to HDFC
FD.
Bank. Okay.
Fixed deposit in my name only, my company's name
Understood.
only. They will issue. Now that bank guarantee means during the, it is a performance security. During the currency of contract of say 5 years or 6 years, if something goes wrong with us, like you asked previously that the bridge is collapsed,
Yeah.
inquiry is fixed, and we found guilty, then government has a right to encash that bank guarantee. So that bank guarantee will be encashed. That payment will be given by the bank to the government on behalf of company.
Okay.
That is a bank guarantee. Guarantee of the bank.
And
Now for the bank, that for that purpose they ask the collaterals.
yes.
So they will recover it, either ask us to pay that money or they will recover it forcefully.
That's why they're taking the 7.5 lakhs.
But additionally, they are taking risk of 32.5 lakh,
Yes.
42.5 lakh.
Yes.
So that 42.5 lakh, suppose 50 lakh bank guarantee is encashed,
Hmm.
then they will recover it from our regular inflow
Okay.
that is controlled by the banks,
Yeah.
or they may even encash our FDs, other FDs, or they may sell our properties.
Okay.
They have the right.
Okay. Bank guarantee is something that you go to the bank, they give you they give the guarantee to the government that if something goes wrong with Dhruv Consultancy or the client, we will pay.
Correct. That is the wording there.
Yeah. And if something
Drafts are given by the government only as a part of tender document.
Okay. And if something really goes wrong, government can actually
Encash
that bank guarantee, and you will be in trouble.
Yeah, definitely.
Correct?
Definitely.
Okay. And this is a big concept, even for trade.
Everywhere.
With the US,
It is
bank
everywhere.
guarantee is there.
And contractors, bank guarantees are more important for them than the consultants. So normally consultants, debarment is a very big punishment for consulting firms.
Yeah. You set up a company in the UK.
Yeah.
Why is that? Just to monitor these African projects or what?
Yes, concept is like that only. We have formulated one Apex company, 100% subsidiary of Dhruv in UK recently. And we are expecting now more success at international level. So our plan is to get the revenue from that local, you can say, company. Again, it is a Dhruv to the international company. Expenditure also from there.
Okay.
And profits will be, since it is a 100% owned subsidiary. So it will be what it is called a combined balance sheet. So we will get advantage in balance sheet also.
Okay.
So risks are, financial risks are mitigated at that level only.
Understood.
No direct hit on the Dhruv.
No direct hit on the standalone Dhruv Indian company. Got it. So last two questions.
Yeah.
The 33.5 crores that you raised from preferential issue. How was that utilized?
It is not fully utilized yet, but our plan is to utilize in this way. We have purchased additional equipments, this testing equipments we discussed.
Okay.
Because a lot of business we smelled in a private sector. We got a lot of inquiries also. And all that equipment buying is already justified with the private orders. That equipments are on the way. 8 to 9 crore rupees funds we spent there. Of course, for without loans. 5 to 6 crore we are expanding this office place. We already purchased new office because this building is now old, and we need additional workstations for expanded business. We are also planning to have outsourcing business from abroad, from developed countries like USA and Europe.
Okay.
That is in pipeline, but we need space for that. So 5-6 crore reserve for that, partly paid also. 5 to 6 crore reserve for the bank guarantees. Now, when I explain the bank guarantees, we were enjoying margin of 15% only from HDFC and Punjab National Bank because our limits were 30 crore. Now, I got many works in Maharashtra post this stable government last week, which election results are declared. Already we had bidded previously, but now orders are in my hand within 15-20 days, and my bank guarantee limits are saturated. So now I have left with no option but to get the bank guarantee from the bank to pay as a part of tender or a part of agreement to the government with 100% margin. So for example, I am putting one example, say I got one work of from MSIDC, Maharashtra State Infrastructure Development Corporation. Amount is roughly 20 crore and I have to pay 5% as a bank guarantee. So it is 1 crore. So 1 crore, I have to deposit 1 crore, I have to get the bank guarantee 1 crore, I have to pay that. So majority of the funds now in future will be required to pay the margin money 100% to the bank guarantees. Otherwise, my business will be at halt. That cannot happen, should not happen to the limited companies. So for that purpose, I have kept reserves 7-8 crore, maybe even 10 crore. And rest of the amount is needed for working capital. Also, we have retired few high interest loans, 3 to 4 crore rupees loans, which were carrying high interest, more than 15%. So we retired.
Okay.
So now our interest part will go down quarter on quarter.
Okay. Okay. So bank guarantee now you have to put 100% margin.
For the time being. Because renewals happen normally once in a year. Now we have approached both the banks and requested them to enhance our bank guarantee limits, which are 30 crore now. We are requesting them for 50 crore. We are also planning to insert third bank as in a multiple banking. And we also approached the Exim Bank for foreign assignments, bank guarantees. So we are doing all that things. But for the time being, till say March, April, May, my results will come. FY 24 25 results will come in May. So till that time, I have to sustain my business. Then afterwards, I can get that money back, but it might be required again for the working capital.
Understood. Tell me one thing. If I were to import a Tesla Cybertruck, okay, I will be charged 100%, 200% import duty. When you're importing these vehicles from Germany, do you have any import duty, or it's a very...
In few cases for infrastructure sector, in few cases the duties are exempted.
Okay.
Customs and excise duties are exempted.
Okay.
Few of them are coming as a CGST nowadays. So I can say ease of the business has been already there from the government side, particularly central government, and we are importing the equipments at lower cost.
Lower cost. Okay, that's good. So last question on the financials, I went through it.
Yeah.
There is no related party transactions as such.
Yeah.
And margins are 12%, 15%.
Yeah, which are
ranges.
supposed to increase now.
Because can you tell me the reason why in Q2 FY25 your margins were slightly lower than previous?
Yeah. Q2, if you see June to September, so it is purely a monsoon period. So in the monsoons, there are no sites going on. Whatever works I got in that period, I mobilize my team. But since there is no work, expenditure is there, no revenue. Revenue starts when the authority allows us to supervise the work.
Okay.
That is called order for you can say work order. That is part 1. Part 2, before that, Q1, end of the Q1, there were central elections.
Okay.
So in central elections, all the machinery, government machinery, focused on the election duties or other things other than their routine works. So many of our orders were stuck up there.
Okay.
They got released in the month of July and August and September after 30 June. And again, there are mobilization expenses. When I am saying mobilization expenses, when the work is allotted to us, that is called letter of acceptance, till we get our first bill, there is a period of 4 months.
Yeah.
And that 4 months I have to spend.
Yeah. Like
So
get the high.
First is a bank guarantee margin.
Yeah.
Second is mobilization expenses, like I have to search for office, I have to search for a car,
Yes.
I have to set up the office, internet expenses, salary of the staff mainly.
Yeah.
And all that is only expenditure. And that's why if you see Q2, our top line highest ever in history of the company, that was 32 crore, I think.
Yeah.
Which was 12 crore more than Q1, or even I can definitely say highest in our history.
Yeah.
So 32. So top line increase, but profitability not increase because of that reason.
I should have asked you this question earlier. In that, I think order book was 350 crores, 343.
Now 301 exactly.
301
unexecuted.
Yeah, unexecuted order book of 301 crores. The 3 segments that you said for you, which you do consultancy.
Yeah.
One is feasibility, second is supervision, third is support services,
And fourth is now private sector.
private sector.
Yeah.
How is the order book divided? Percentage is fine.
Yeah,
Rough percentage.
75% is supervision.
Okay,
10% is DPR.
that's a feasibility.
Feasibility.
Okay,
Then I can say about 5% is a private sector.
okay,
And remaining is the supervision of the maintenance activities. That is support services.
got it. So 70% is
75.
75 is supervision.
That's a cash flow is smooth.
Got
Month on month we get the payment.
Got it. All right, sir. Wish
Thank
you all
you.
the best.